Good afternoon, everybody. Are we back?
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, Suchi.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening, everybody. So let's take a minute silence.
Good
and then
evening,
start.
ma'am.
Good evening, Neha. Good evening. Okay. So we'll begin the session. We are going to continue the chapter, Detailed Study of the Verb. So far we have seen only one presentation under this chapter, that is simple present tense with the personal pronouns. Okay. So this presentation helps the children understand how the verb can be used to express present time of the action or present tense. Okay, tense is nothing but time. So they understand how the verb expresses the time limit of the action also. So accordingly, we name the tenses. We have seen only one tense so far. And how did we offer that presentation? We began with personal pronouns.
Personal pronouns.
Yes.
Personal pronouns.
Yeah, the children have already worked with that material. So we asked the children to lay out the cards. So they lay the cards out in two columns, singular and plural. Under singular, first person singular, second person singular, and third person singular. All the cards are laid out under one column. Then under plural, the same way. First person, second person, third person plural. All are there, right? Then we talk to them about verbs. Right? They have already worked with verb grammar box, so they know the importance of verb. So we say we are going to work with the verbs as well as with the pronouns today. Right? Then we ask them to give some examples for some actions that are happening now. They may answer in present continuous tense, like I am talking to you, you are listening, we are sitting here, we are attending the class. Like that they may use present continuous. But we have to say the same thing in simple present. We attend the class. I talk to you. We sit here. Like this, we express the same thing in simple present. Then we tell them all these actions are happening now. Not yesterday, not tomorrow. They are happening in the present. So these verbs are said to be in present tense. Now let us look at a verb today, how it is used in present tense along with these personal pronouns. Then we introduce the verb to love, right? So we tell them if the first person singular I is the one who is doing this action, then we say I love. If you, the second person singular, is doing the action in present, then it becomes you love, like this. Okay, so do the same thing for the remaining pronouns. Help them notice the difference in the spelling when it comes for third person singular. Then you can offer one more verb. Let them arrange the cards. Orally also you can give one or two verbs. Let them say it out how it will be for each pronoun. Then they may say, or you prompt them to say that the spelling changes for third person singular, right? So then you leave them saying that there are some more cards, you can work with them. Here we ended the presentation. We didn't discuss the follow-up activities. Now you tell me what can be the follow-up activities. We have introduced simple present tense. Actually, we have not even used the word simple present tense. We have used the word only present tense. So what could be the follow-up activities?
They can take more words, ma'am. More words like love And then they can match with the personal pronouns where it fits.
Okay. Right. Then that they are doing in the presentation itself. Yes. So we also saw one more verb, sing. Anything else? What can they do?
They can make sentences out of it.
They can make sentences using present tense of some verbs. Fine. Here you told them that the actions are happening in the present. Only that much you have given. Can you give them any other help? For what other actions they can use this present tense?
For daily routine.
So, you can help them with that. Okay, you can ask them to find out for what kind of actions we use present tense. So, for regular activities, for actions that go on happening continuously, like the earth revolves, okay, the earth rotates, these kind of actions. The sun rises in the east. Then some regular activities which they do, and you can ask them to write down all those sentences. Yes? Then anything else? Here they have noticed only one change. That is, the verb, with the verb we add an S at the end when it is used to be third person singular. But is it always an S? We don't add any other letters. Only S we add with the verb to express it in present tense.
ING also we add. No?
ING to express present tense. Here when I say present tense, actually I am talking about simple present.
Oh.
Do we use ING to express present tense, simple present tense? No.
It's continuous form.
When we talk about continuous actions.
Ma'am, IES.
IES, okay. Like cry, cries.
Fly by.
Then anything else? Sometimes we add ES. Right? Even with the verb go, if it is in third person singular, we say goes. Goes is the spelling. Yes? Brushes. She brushes her teeth every day. ES we are adding. Yes? So for some verbs we add ES. For some verbs we add only S. For some verbs the last letter becomes IES if the last letter is Y. Yes? So you can help them find out all those things. Okay? Or maybe you can ask them to read a book or whatever they have already so far. You can ask them to find out the verbs which are in present. And they can recognize the patterns. Oh, for these verbs, when it is expressed in simple present, the spelling changes like this. They can come up with that. Okay, so all these can be given as follow-up activities. Right? So this is for present tense. Any other suggestion? They can even make booklets. For what all verbs, we add only S. For what all verbs, we add ES. What should be the ending of that particular verb if I have to add ES with that? So they can make booklets for all those things. Okay? Fine. So now, you can, you know what, it may be a little traditional, but even in the traditional system, no, we help the children look for some keywords like regularly, usually, frequently, sometimes, often. Like this, they come across some words, and whenever they come across those words, they are expected to use simple present. Okay, those verbs should be in simple present. So maybe this you can offer later. This help you can offer later. Okay, let them identify the pattern. Let them recognize Wait for them to discover something like this. They may come up with something like this. That time you say, oh, only these words. Would you like to add some more words like this? Or maybe you can have some sentences where you use these words. Like sentence bank. For sentence analysis, you have sentence banks. Yes. The same way you have some prepared material where you have used all these keywords. So let them read them continuously. Let them find out, okay, whenever I use these words, I have to use this tense. Okay, that they have to discover. We need not say. Okay, we have to give them some time. We have to give them the chance to find out that. Right. Okay, let us move on to the next presentation. This is presentation 2. Simple past. Simple past. Within bracket, you write strong verbs and weak verbs. Strong verbs and weak verbs. So maybe you can do some research and find out about these strong words and weak words. Include a paragraph in your file. They are saying that only 200 strong verbs are, around 200 strong verbs are there in English. Okay, and they are from Proto-Indo-European languages. Proto-Indo-European languages. Weak verbs are from Proto-Germanic. So you do the research, include the paragraph in the file. So let us start the presentation. But make sure the children have worked sufficiently, okay, with present tense. Then you offer this past tense. Children, we have been working with present tense of the verbs. Yes, we know that whatever actions are happening now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but which are happening now in the present, for those actions, we can use present form of the verb or present tense of the verb. Yes. Shall we learn something more about verbs and tenses today? And today we are going to use an interesting material. And you remember when we discussed about the present tense of the verb, we said that those actions are happening either regularly or rarely, or some actions which happen continuously. Yes? Today let us talk about some different kind of actions. You know what, Geeta? Today, I woke up at 6 o'clock. I brushed my teeth and then I went for a walk. Then I took bath. I had my breakfast. What did you do this morning?
Yes, I woke up, I cooked, I brushed.
Oh, okay. So you cooked. You help your
Yes.
mother. Okay.
Yes.
Bharati, what did you do?
I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I cooked and went to school.
Okay. You said you brushed your teeth. Both of you. Are you brushing your teeth now?
No, auntie.
No. It's done and finished. Yes. It happened in the morning. It's not happening now. And not tomorrow also. It's done and finished in the morning itself. Right? And you said you had your breakfast. Are you having it now in the present?
No, auntie.
So, you already finished the action. So, when you talk about actions which are already done and finished, we use the verbs in its past tense. You remember, tense means time. So, these verbs are expressing the past tense of the action or the past time in which these actions took place. You used some verbs like woke up, brushed, went, cooked. All these actions are done and finished. They took place in the past time. So they are said to be in the past tense. To learn more about these past tense of the verbs, we have an interesting material. Let us look at them. I have some charts here. We are going to look at them. Let us take the verb talk. Are you able to see? Okay. So this is the verb, right? Talk. Now, I have many charts. Let us begin with this one. Okay. This is present tense chart, right? Auntie has different charts. I will tell you the name when we are working with them, right? This is called present tense chart. Now, let us run this arrow through this chart. Okay. Now, Bharati, can you read this?
I talk.
I talk. Okay. Now,
We talk.
we talk. Okay. Now,
You talk.
you talk. Now,
They talk.
they talk. Okay. Now what happens?
He talks, Auntie.
He talks. You remember we have worked with present tense of the verbs. Yes?
Yes, Auntie.
And here,
She talks.
she talks. Okay. And you can also say this.
It talks.
Okay. So, the verb talk can be expressed in present like this, right? So, what have you noticed in this chart, Bharati? What have you noticed?
When we talk about first person, we use talk, Auntie.
Hmm.
When we talk about third person, he, she, we add
Hmm.
it and it is talks, Auntie.
Okay. Do we do that for all third person?
Only for he, she, it, Auntie.
And they are third person? Singular.
Singular.
Okay. Because they is also a third person pronoun.
Third person
Yes?
and it is plural.
Yes. So, when you use the verbs with some personal pronouns, especially the third person singular, the verb adds an S to it at its end. Okay, and this you have already learned when you were working with present tense of the verb. Yes, I have one more chart. Let us run this arrow through that. Just now we talked about past tense of the verb. Okay, let us try running this arrow in the past tense chart. See this. Geeta, can you read?
I talk. A, ma'am, that last one is, it's not clear. A or S?
D.
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 Okay.
Ma'am, can you send the photo of the charts?
Yes, I will send you. I have already sent 2 photos in the group. Okay,
Okay,
they are,
ma'am.
one is for the previous presentation that was done last week, and another one is for the next presentation. Okay, I will send these pictures also. Right? Geeta, continue reading.
I talked.
I talked. Okay. Bharti, do you notice any difference? I talked.
Yes,
Is it
Auntie.
okay?
It was I talk, Auntie. Now when it is past, it is I talked, Auntie.
I talked. Yes. We have to say it as I talked. But what about the spelling?
One E is missing.
E.
Which is missing, Ram?
E.
Missing, auntie.
Oh, okay. Let us check whether we have some other chart for that. Yes, we have. Now let us see. See, this is also a past tense chart, right? Ram, is it okay now?
Yes, auntie.
Yes, auntie.
Can you read, please?
I talked.
I talked. Now
We talked.
we talked.
You talked.
So for second person singular, it is you talked. And now
They talked.
they talked. Okay, now
He talked.
oh, for third person singular also it is talked. Then
She talked.
she talked.
It talked.
Okay. So have you noticed anything here? Starting from here, what have you noticed, Ram?
From first person,
First person.
it was talked.
Hmm.
And second person also it was talked. Third person also it
Which is
was talked.
second person here?
You.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah, they. That is also second person. They also
They
talk.
is second person, Ram.
So they say third
Third person, plural.
plural. And
And for the third person singular?
he, she. So talked.
Yes. So for all the pronouns, the change in the verb remains same.
Same.
Yes. Talked. We have added something at the end. And that is ed. Yes. So it is same for all the personal pronouns. There is no change as we did in simple present. Yes. In the present tense, what did we do?
Third person singular we added yes.
For the third person singular, we added an S at the end. Okay. But here it is same. The spelling remains same throughout. Yes. I'm sorry. I have used the word simple 2-3 times. Don't use the word simple in your file. We haven't yet introduced those terms to children. Use only present tense and past tense. Okay. So in the next presentation only, we will be using those words. Fine. Right. So in present, we noticed a change in the third person singular. Yes, when the verb was used with third person singular, there was an S added at the end. But here no change at all. It remains same. Right? Now I have one more verb. Let us see what happens to this one. I have a verb here. Asha, what is this?
Try, ma'am.
Try. Okay. So I have a present tense chart. Would you like to run this arrow through that?
Yes, ma'am.
Let us see what happens. So Asha is going to run it through. Read it, Asha.
I try.
I try.
We try.
We try.
You try.
You try.
They try.
They try.
He tries.
He tries.
But then there's a spelling error there.
Oh, okay. But we have added ES here. It has to be something else, Asha. You feel so?
And we're adding ES and the word which ends with Y, we have to replace it by I and.
Okay. Maybe we'll do one thing. See, look at the back of the arrow. I have tried written here. Okay. At the back of the same arrow, there is something else written. Now let us run it through the same chart and see what happens.
Okay.
So now
I
when it comes here, when
he
it comes
tries.
here, shall we say this?
Yes, sir. He tries. She
Hmm.
tries.
Hmm?
It tries.
Okay. It tries. Okay. So now you think the spelling is okay?
Yes, auntie.
So here what have we done with the verb? What have we done with the verb? You remember we have already come across these verbs. Yes, while working with present tense of
Present
the verb.
tense.
Yes. So
Yes,
this
sir.
Y becomes
I.
IEL, right? And we have a separate chart for this. So though we have a separate chart, all you have to do is just
Only
turn the
slip it.
arrow.
Flip it. Hmm.
Okay, just flip it and you will get the correct spelling. So
Okay.
it seems for some of these verbs, we have to do this. Now, what about the past tense for the same verb?
Remains the same and it is tried.
It is tried. So now, let us use the flipped side. Okay. So do you think it's okay?
Yes, and I tried.
tried.
We tried.
Hmm.
You tried.
Hmm.
They tried. He
Hmm.
tried.
Hmm.
She tried.
She tried.
It tried.
Okay. So here also we have noticed in the past for all the pronouns
It remains
the
the
same
same.
spelling. Yes, we use the same spelling. But in present, as you have already noticed, only for third person singular, it becomes IES. Yes. Okay,
Yes,
I
sir.
have one more verb. Let us see what happens to that. So for the verb talk, we found out we add ED with this verb for all the personal pronouns. And for try, we have seen that it becomes IED for all the pronouns. Now, what about this verb? I have a verb here. So, Tanvi, would you like to read this? Sorry, I have shown the other side.
No.
No. Okay. So, what do you think is, what do you think it happens when we use it in the, when we run it through the present tense chart? Yes, Tanvi, what happens when we run it through the, when we run it through the present tense chart?
Present tense. So, ma'am, like when it is past, we add ed.
Okay. So in past, you are talking about the past. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So let us see. This is a present tense chart. Let us try that first. So,
I know, we know, you know, they know, he knows, she knows, it knows.
Okay, so that is what we say. Yes, he knows,
Yes.
he knows, like that.
Yes.
But what about the spelling, Tanvi?
We add es.
We add es.
Yes.
You remember we have already worked with some verbs in their present form.
Ma'am, I
in
was
its
not there
present form.
last class. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Suchi, would you like to help her? What about the verb know in its present form? What happens to it?
It takes an S for the third person singular.
Oh, it takes an S, not ES. Tanvi, have you got it?
Yes, Auntie.
Oh, this is the chart that we have to use. Okay? Oh, sorry. This is the chart that we are supposed to use for present tense for this verb. Okay, now you see the spelling, Tanvi?
Yes, he knows. So we have just added. He knows,
Yes, we
she
have
knows,
just
it knows.
added an S with the verb. at its end. Okay. So this is for present tense. Now what about past?
ED.
Here we have added only yes. So shall we try this one?
Yes, auntie.
See
I
this?
knowed. We knowed. You knowed. They
Is it
knowed.
okay? Does it sound good?
No, auntie.
Do we use this verb like this in past?
No, auntie.
So, any idea? Maybe we try some other chart and find out what happens. You remember? For this verb try, we flipped it. Yes? Let us check whether we have anything at the back of this arrow.
New.
Something is written.
New.
New. So, do you think this sounds good?
Yes, auntie.
When
He
we run
knew.
it along with, when we run it through this arrow, like this.
I knew.
Hmm.
We knew. They.
Hmm.
You knew. They knew.
Hmm.
He knew.
Hmm.
She knew.
Okay.
It knew.
So, does it sound good for others? Is it okay?
Yes, auntie.
I knew. So, it seems for some words, when we flip it, it helps us. And we have to choose the chart that we run it through. So, we have seen 3 words so far. We have used talk, we have used try, and now we have used this no.
No.
Right? So, for talk, in it past, you have added ed.
ED. Yes, auntie.
No matter what pronoun you are using it with. You have added ed at the end. And here also, you did the same thing for try also. Only thing is, not ed, it is ied. However, you have ed at the end. Yes. But here, for this verb, we have done something within the word itself. Yes. The spelling change happens within the word. Internally, it happens. Yes? Have you noticed? And you know what? I have another word. What is this, Tanvi?
Bring.
Bring. Right?
Brought.
And when we have to find its past, we have to flip it.
Brought.
And it is written there. So here, have we added anything at the end? Have we added anything at the
No.
end like
The
ed?
word itself
No,
changes.
we just changed the word itself. Like,
Oh, the word itself has got changed completely. Yes. Okay. So it seems we have different types of verbs. And they take different forms when we use them in their past. So for some verbs, we add ed at the end. Those verbs are called weak verbs. Talked, walked. Okay. So wherever you add ed, those verbs are becoming past.
past. Weak verbs.
Okay. They are called weak verbs. It has one more name also. They are called regular verbs because it is easy for us to find its past tense. Okay. If I remove that ed at the end, then I get the actual verb. The original form of the verb is there. Right? But these verbs, where we made some internal changes, or these kind of verbs, where we changed the word completely, these words are called strong verbs. Like eat, ate. Yes? Can you think of any other strong verb?
Ma'am, draw, drew.
Oh, draw and drew. Okay. The change happens internally. Yes. Anything else?
Thought and
Think, thought. Okay. So a complete change in the format. Yes. So these verbs are called strong verbs or irregular verbs. Now, we have some boxes.
What
where
about
we
the
have-
word? Auntie, what about the word learn, learnt?
So we have some words like that.
Yes,
Okay.
auntie.
I wonder in which category we can bring them up. Maybe we can make a booklet for those words, shall we?
Yes.
Or
Yes,
would you like to
auntie.
make a chart of your own like this?
Okay.
See, Auntie
Okay,
has
auntie.
these charts. Would you like to make a chart of your own?
Okay, auntie.
And share it with us. Okay, Smita?
Okay, auntie.
So we have some boxes in the environment where we have kept different types of weak words. You know why I say different types of weak words? Because for some words only ed, for some words it becomes ied. Yes? And find out other weak words. Like Sumita said, T is what we add at the end. Learnt. I learnt a lesson yesterday. Yes? So we have some boxes where we have kept the weak words, and there is a box for strong words also. You can work with them. You can run the arrows through these charts and find out. And what else would you like to do, Ram, when you work with these verbs in their past?
We have to find whether there's an internal change or in the word, or we're just adding some ed of that.
Okay. Like Sumita is going to make a chart of her own for words ending with t. Yes. Like that, what else would you like to do? Would you like to make a booklet of your own?
Yes,
For
auntie.
what verbs we add ed, for what verbs we add ied.
Yeah.
Yes, would you like to make a booklet of your own?
Yes.
And maybe one of you can make a booklet where you have all the strong verbs. Right? And one more thing, we said that these actions are done and finished. Right? So what about the action that happened a minute ago? For example, you gave me an example. You wrote down the sentence I said. Is it also past? Yes. So any time in the past. It can be last year. I bought a car last year. It can be last week. I met my friend last week. It can be just a minute ago. We discussed weak verbs and strong verbs. So it can be any time in the past. But if it is done and finished completely, then we have to express those verbs in their past tense. Okay. So here ends the presentation for past tense. And in ma'am's environment, at the back of the arrows, you might find SV and WV and all written, okay, for weak verbs and strong verbs. Just to help the children place the arrows in their respective boxes, right? The codes, right? So you go through the material in the environment, you take pics of them, you can share it with the other students who always appear online. Okay. Now, let us move on to the next presentation. Presentation 3. Simple tenses. Put a hyphen. Verb packets. Verb packets. For this, I have sent the pic in the group. Okay. So,
Verb pattern, right?
packet.
Oh, okay.
Verb packets of the present and past. Verb packets of the present and past. Okay, so you have a big red pouch, and within that pouch you will find 6 small pouches. You can refer to the photo that is sent in the group. Okay. And you remember in the last session we discussed only 3 major tenses or major timings: present, past, and future. But they have 4 under each, right? So like if you take present, you will be having simple present, present continuous, present perfect continuous. Okay. And when you take past, the same 4: simple past, past continuous, past perfect, and past perfect continuous. The same thing goes for future also. Totally 12 tenses, right? But here in the training course, we will be discussing all these under 2 categories: simple tenses and compound tenses. When we say simple tenses, only 3: simple present, simple past, and simple future. When we say compound tenses, all the perfect tenses and continuous tenses will be discussed, right? But the presentations will be shown for you for perfect tenses, right? So you come up with your own presentations for continuous, how it can be offered, or perfect continuous, all these things, right? So please make a note of all these things in the file. So you may be having one more pouch in the environment. In Man's Center, you will be having one more pouch where you have 6 small packets within a large one for compound tenses, right? And it will be like this. So in the small packets, you might see like this. Are you able to read? Ram, can you read?
It's slightly blurred only.
It's blur, not able to see. Okay, it is written, the verb is written first, to love. Okay, and below that it is, I will send a pic of it. It is there in the photo that I have sent you.
Yes,
Okay, in the next line it is written indicative mood. Like we will discuss what it is. Then below that it is written active voice. Right, so you might have heard of active voice and passive voice. Yes, and then comes simple present. Right, the same way you will have for simple past and simple future. To love, indicative mood, active voice, simple past. The same thing for simple future also, right? So we will discuss about these moods later, but for the time being, just to help you, I can say a little. So to express the attitude of the speaker, the verbs can be expressed in 3 major moods. One is indicative mood, another one is imperative mood, another one is subjunctive mood, right? So maybe imperative mode all might understand easily, either a command, okay, or an order, like I want you to do this for me, or do it immediately, okay, finish the work fast, like that. So you are giving a command to somebody. So when we give a command, those verbs are said to be in imperative mode. But this indicative mode is to express a fact, a normal statement, or the opinion. It can be in the form of a normal sentence, which we usually call as declarative sentence, or it can be an interrogative sentence also. It may be in a question also, right? So subjunctive mood we will discuss later. We will discuss all these things, okay, under other features of the verb. So that time we will discuss in detail. Now remember, when we say indicative mood, the verb expresses a normal statement or to express a fact. Something general is expressed with the help of that verb form, right? Like I talk to you. You are listening to me. Are you all listening to me? Okay. So in these kind of sentences, the verb is said to be in indicative mood. Just a statement or a question or a factual thing, right? So let us discuss about the remaining moods later. But just to know what we mean by indicative mood, I told you this, right? So like this, you will find 3 packets for active voice, right? Simple present, active voice. Simple past, active voice. Simple future, active voice. Then 3 pouches for passive voice. Simple present passive, simple past passive, and simple future passive. Okay. So all these 6 pouches will be in one large pouch. Right? So that pic I have sent. Only for active voice I have sent. One more will be there for passive. Oh, sorry. One more will be for compound tenses. Only for simple I have sent. Okay. So here, what do we do? What are we going to do with these tense packets? So when they work with these verb packets, they just observe the pattern. Already we have told them about present tense of the verb, past tense of the verb, how it changes according to the personal pronoun. First of all, is there a change or does it remain same? All these things we have already helped the children understand. So when they work with these verb packets, they observe the pattern. Okay. So let us see how to offer these verb packets to the children. We have children, we have seen how to express the verb in its present tense and in its past tense. Yes. And you know that sometimes the verb format changes according to the pronoun. That also we have seen. And you have worked with more verbs. Today, let us work with these verb packets. See, Auntie has some packets. We will work with one of these. Let us choose this one today. Okay. Where it is written, see, to love, indicative mood, active voice and simple present. Let us work with this first. Ram, I give you this pouch. Sumita, I give you another pouch. Right? Can you read what is written there?
Okay, auntie.
Just to change the simple past. That's all. Okay. To love, indicative mood, active voice and simple past. Right? To love, indicative mood, active voice, simple past. Now, would you like to take out the contents and lay them out?
Yes, auntie.
Ram, you're going to lay out the verb in its present form. Right? We also call it simple present. And you know how to lay them out because you have already worked with personal pronouns. You remember? So according to singular and plural, will you do it?
Yes, auntie.
So what comes first?
I.
Okay. So let us do it. Okay. So I keep it here. What comes next? After first person singular?
We.
We. Okay. This, where do I place this, Ram?
The.
Where?
Below I.
Below I?
Yeah.
Okay. So this shows that the child has not sufficiently worked. Okay. So, Sumita, would you like to help him? Where do I place this?
Auntie, it is a plural, auntie. Below, next to I, auntie. I is singular, auntie.
Okay.
It is
First
next to
person
I,
singular. We is first person plural.
plural.
Okay. So, we do it like this. Right. Okay. Then what comes, Ram?
You. Yeah.
Okay.
You know. Yeah.
Then
They.
they. They. Where do I place they?
Side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. I have you here in second person singular. So what will be the second person plural, Ram?
It should be you.
You,
Yeah.
auntie.
You.
Okay. So now
They.
this third person? Third person?
Singular.
Sure.
Well,
They are all playing there. Am I talking about only one person, Ram?
Many.
Many. So
Mm.
many. When you say many, it is in
Plural.
plural. Yes. So
Yeah.
third person plural. And this is
He. Singular.
third person singular. And this is
Singular. Third person singular.
third person singular. So we have kept the cards here. Okay, whatever you took out from that envelope, where present, simple present tense is written, right? So let us keep this on top here. I will send the pic. Okay. So another pic where everything is in print, right? Now, Sumita, can you lay out your cards, please?
Okay, auntie.
So,
I love, first person singular.
mm,
You, then you loved, first person singular.
is it first person, Sumita?
No, second person singular, sorry.
Okay, no need to say sorry, Sumita.
He loved, third person singular, auntie.
Okay.
She loved, third person singular, auntie.
And
In
what about this one?
first person plural, we loved.
Okay.
In second person plural, you loved. In third person plural, they loved.
Okay. So all these, whatever you have laid out here, that comes from the packet where it is written like this. Okay. Simple past tense. Right? You remember, children, you have worked with present tense. You have also worked with past tense. Right? Can I now change this here? Then what does it mean? Sumita, what would it mean? I have removed
They
this.
love,
Okay.
they love,
Ah.
they loved.
Then what happens?
Auntie, the action is already done, no, auntie? It's finished.
So when we say they loved, the action is already done and finished. Okay, so it comes under past. So it has to stay here, right? And this is a
They love in
continuous action. Okay, it's a regular action. It always happens. So for these kind of actions, we use the verb in its present tense. So let it go here, right? We have some more verb packets. Would you like to work with them?
Yes, auntie.
Hi, I love you. சேம் டு யூ அப்படின்னா சொல்லுமா அப்பதான் நிம்மதியா சைக்கிள் ஓட்டிட்டு போக முடியும்
அடிக்காத போ.
Karishma, who is that?
My son, ma'am, sorry.
Okay. Fine. So remember, the children have already worked with the chart and arrows for past. Okay. And before coming to that chart and arrows, they have already worked with various verbs in their present form. Right? So these verb packets just help them look at the pattern once again. And what change happens, or any change happens first of all, just to observe the pattern. Okay. So in the same sitting, we can also offer the verb packets for verb be and have. Okay. So they may have used, or we always use these words when we talk to them. Whenever we talk, we use the words, I am here, you are there. Okay, she is there. We use these words, no? So in the same sitting, we can help the children learn the pattern also. So here also, we say, children, we have one more packet. Okay, shall we see what is inside? See, this is what we are going to work with. To be, okay, active voice and simple present. Would you like to take out the contents, Karishma? So
Yes,
in
ma'am.
its present form, let us see what happens to the verb. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is this?
I am.
I am. Okay. Now after I, what comes?
You. You are.
You are. Okay. We. You want to place we, Sumita? Okay, we'll do.
Yes, auntie.
What is it? We are. Okay. Where do I place this, Sumita?
Auntie, first person plural, auntie.
First person plural. Okay. Then
You are.
you are. So by now the children will have worked sufficiently, so they will place it quicker. Okay. So they are under third person plural. Then, oh sorry, he is.
He is.
Then she is.
She is.
Okay. So remember children, you have taken out the card or all the cards from the pouch where simple present tense is written. Okay. So all this come under simple present. Actually, I forgot to write the label for that. So here we have to place it. Okay. I will send the pic for all these things. So now, Imtiaz sir, would you like to open the other pouch and lay out the cards?
Ma'am, it is not there.
Pardon?
It, third person singular. It,
I
she,
have
she,
not. I have not written it. Okay.
Oh.
So by now the children will have understood where we use it for what kind of things we can use. Right. So I have not written it. But it will be there in the pic that I send you.
I was.
I was. So this is taken from simple past tense pouch. Okay. So shall we lay it out?
Yes, ma'am. You were.
You were. Then shall we place this one?
He was.
He was. Then
She was.
she was. Okay. Now, what about the plurals?
We were.
We were.
You were.
10% plural. Third person plural.
We were. Third
Okay.
person.
So, all these are for the same verb to be, but in its past. Okay. They are said to be in past tense. We call this as simple past tense. Right? And these are for simple present tense of the same verb to be. In the pouch, it is written as be. But do you find be anywhere here? I am, you are, he is, she is, we are, you are, they are. I don't find any be here. What about this side? Do we find be here? The verb be?
No, auntie.
It is not at all here. But all these are the other forms of the be. When the verb be is expressed in simple present, it takes the forms like this. Have you noticed? For each one, it is different. For I, it is am. And are, you find for you are, we are, again you are, and they are. Yes. So in for four pronouns, you have used the word are. And is, that also you have used with he and she. But this am, it goes only with I. Because I is always very special. Right? And what about here? For I, it is was. For he and she also, it is was.
Yes.
I was. And for all the remaining pronouns, it is were.
Be.
Right? So this is how the verb be can be expressed in its present and past. Would you like to work with its, would you like to work with the other verb to have? We have a packet. So would you like to work with that? You can find out how verb have can be expressed in its present and past. Okay, children? So
Yes.
here in this presentation, of course, you have to introduce have also. Okay, how it can be expressed in present and past. Or you just leave it to the children, let them work and find out the pattern. Right? So these verb packets offer them a help to observe the pattern because we are laying out present as well as past. And remember, children have worked with these two tenses already, right? Now let us move on to future, introducing the future tense. That is the fourth presentation. Future. Children, we have worked with present tense of the verbs and past tense of the verbs. You remember, we have worked with the charts and arrows, right? And there itself we have present tense chart, past tense chart. Yes? Today, let us discuss some actions. Different ones. You know what? Day after tomorrow is Saturday. Yes, it's a holiday. So I will go to the park with my friends. And I will buy ice cream. Right? I will play seesaw. I will go to the beach also. Right? And what would you do? Lalita, what will you do on Saturday?
I will go to my uncle's house.
Okay. And what will you do there?
I will play with my cousin.
Oh, you have a cousin?
Eat
Okay.
together. And we will eat together.
Oh, you will eat together. Fine.
And we will watch movies together.
You will watch movies. Ram, Lalita is talking about some actions which she will do on Saturday.
Yes,
Are
sir.
these actions happening now, Lalita? Are you doing it now? Are you watching a movie now? Are you eating now?
No, auntie.
So they are not happening in the
No.
present, right? And have you already done all these actions?
No.
No. These actions are going to happen tomorrow or day after tomorrow. Yes. So we are talking about actions which are going to happen later. These actions have to be expressed in their future tense. Okay? And we have a pouch for that also. Simple future tense. Let us see how to use them. Right? But remember, Lalita, for each and every action, you have used will. Yes, I will go. I will eat. I will play. I will watch. Like that you have said. Let us see what we have in the pouch. So, would you like to read? See, this pouch is for the verb to love. Okay. So, what is this, Lalita?
Ma'am, I couldn't see it, so someone can read it.
Ram?
I will
love. Okay. Fine. So, would you like to lay out the cards, Ram? So, as usual, the children will do it. Okay, you will love. So, they will arrange according to the singular and plural. Right?
He will.
Yes. And then?
She will.
Okay. Then?
We will.
Okay.
You.
Yes. And then?
They.
See? This is how the verb love can be expressed in its future. Right? You remember when we discussed the same verb in its present, we found out that with third person pronouns, when we use the verb, it adds an S to it at its end. Yes? And what did we find out when we worked with the same verb in its past tense?
Ed.
Ed. Yes, we added here already one E is there. Yes, Ram?
Yes.
So we added D at the end. Right? And now what have we added? And where have we added? Along with the verb in the future.
Will before the verb.
Before the verb, we have added
Will.
Will. This will is actually an auxiliary verb. Okay, it is an auxiliary verb. Here, it does the function of expressing the action in future. Right? See, have you noticed any other auxiliary verb? Or have you used the same word for all the pronouns, Ram?
Yes, all of them are having will only.
Oh, all the pronouns go with will. Okay. We have one more pouch for future. Would you like to work with them? We have the verb sing. We have the verb be also for simple future. Would you like to work with those pouches and find out whether we add will with all the verbs?
Yes, sir.
So the children will work and find out. Okay. Maybe later you can introduce the difference between shall and will. Okay. So where can we use shall? Sometimes we say, shall I go now? Shall we do it? Like this we ask questions. So do we use it only in interrogative form? Can it be used in normal statement also? If so, what is the difference? Okay. So that I leave it to you. Right. So find out and include it in your file. The difference between will and shall. And with what pronouns we can use shall. And does it make any difference when it is used in a statement? Does it make any difference when it is used in a question form? Right? So include it in your file. So now we have introduced present, past and future. So what follow-ups can be given to the children? What follow-ups?
They can find some sentences from books,
Hmm?
whether it is present, past, or future, and they can note it down in their notebook, ma'am.
Okay. Then?
Ma'am, they can take, ma'am, they can take any one sentence and then they can change it into all the three.
Okay. One sentence, no matter what tense it is, they can change it into the remaining two tenses.
Or ma'am, even one paragraph. So like, you know, if one paragraph is in present, they can change it into past or future.
Okay. So it can be changed into the other tenses. Either a sentence or a paragraph.
The same verb example help, they can frame sentences in past, present, and future.
Okay. Maybe they can make booklets for that. One verb in all three tenses. Yes? Then anything else? You can give them some exercise also. Maybe or even children can do it together. They can choose one verb. So just to remember for which pronouns the changes happen. Okay, they can say, now this is the word. Swim is the verb. How will you use it with third person singular in present? The other child can try. Okay. Or the same verb swim. How will you use it for first person plural? The child can try. Okay, like that. So think of some more follow-ups and help the children learn more about the tenses. So 3 tenses we have introduced. Right. Only in future we have used the word will. And we helped the children understand that it is an auxiliary verb. Okay. Now, you tell me, do you think only in simple future we use the auxiliary verb? Don't we use it in simple present? Don't we use it in simple past? Do we use or not? Is there an auxiliary verb? Because there is a presentation for auxiliary verbs. So before we move on to that, I would like to know what you think about these auxiliary verbs. Or what other auxiliary verbs you know? One we have introduced now, will. So what other auxiliary verbs you can introduce to the children? Yes? You know only will? Shall also we discussed. That is also an auxiliary verb.
Is, was.
And is, was.
Are they all
Okay.
auxiliary verbs, ma'am?
They are also auxiliary verbs?
Yes.
Are you asking or are you saying?
Yeah, I'm sure.
They are auxiliary verbs. Huh? Okay. Then any other verb? Of course, is, am, are, all these come under what verb? They are the different forms of the same verb, no?
To be, ma'am.
Then any other auxiliary verbs you know of? Tell me, do we use auxiliary verb in simple present and in simple past? Or if you know of any other tense where you come across, Vishaka has said, has had. Okay. So where do we use it? Which tense?
Past tense.
Past tense. Do we use has and had in past tense?
Yeah, ma'am. Had we use in perfect past tense, no?
Past
Had.
perfect. Okay. Past perfect. Yes. Okay. So we use has, had and all for perfect tenses as auxiliaries. Fine. Will is used for simple future. Any other auxiliaries? Okay. So this is some extra information. Okay. Auxiliaries are of two types. One is primary auxiliaries and then modal auxiliaries. Under primary auxiliaries, we have three verbs. Be, do, have. These three are considered as primary auxiliaries. Be, to be. Then have, to have. Then do, to do. All these are called primary auxiliaries. Okay. Then under modal auxiliaries, we have will, shall, would, should, must, can, could, may, might. Okay. There are some more auxiliary verbs. We will see them later. Right. Even need to, ought to, they are also called auxiliaries. Auxiliary means helping. Okay. They are helping verbs. But what do they help us for? What do they help us for? Any idea?
Convey the time when that situation or action is to be performed.
They are used to express the time and also one more. Already we have seen the forms of be and have. Yes. See, all these are for your notes. We haven't yet gone into the presentation. Right? I'm just talking to you. So auxiliary verbs help us find out the time. Vishaka, I don't know who said that. I'm not able to see you. Okay, so somebody has said that it expresses the time of the action. Anything else does it express? Can I say we is here? Can I say he are there? Can I say that?
No, ma'am.
What should I do? How can I express it?
We are.
We are here.
I
He
am there.
is there. Right? And remember, are and is are the other forms of be. Right? So, what does it help here? What do we understand when I use the verb be along with these pronouns?
Singular, plural.
Pardon?
Singular, plural.
Singular and plural. Okay? So, who is doing the action? Is it just one person or many person? So, I understand the number, whether it is singular or plural. Right? And also the time of the action. So, auxiliary verbs help us understand whether the action is done by a singular or plural person. Then, at what time the action takes place. Right? So, these two things I understand with the help of the auxiliary verbs. And be, do, have. These three are called primary auxiliaries, which mean they are very, very important, very, very essential, and you have to use them in your sentences. Right? Either one of the primary auxiliaries or one of the modal auxiliaries should be there in your sentence. If you make a sentence in English, Either a modal auxiliary or a primary auxiliary should be there in your sentence. You cannot make a sentence without these two or without either of these two. Fine. Now tell me, do we use an auxiliary verb in simple present and simple past also, as we use in simple future? Tell me a sentence in simple present, please. Suchi.
Ma'am, a sentence in the simple present with an auxiliary verb.
No, just tell me a sentence in simple present. Any
Pointing.
sentence, any regular action, everyday action.
I go to school.
I go to school. Okay. Now, Padma, can you find out whether there is an auxiliary verb? I go to school. Is there an auxiliary verb? Only if we know, we can help the child understand.
There's no auxiliary verb, ma'am.
There is no auxiliary verb. But remember, just now we learnt that there must be an auxiliary verb. Because without the auxiliary verb, how will you find out the time of the action? How will you know who is doing the action? Either a primary auxiliary or a modal auxiliary should be there.
But ma'am, when we
Okay,
say
Padma, change.
ma'am, the same thing, when we say I go to school,
Mm.
the action is expressed by the verb to go.
Okay. You think so? All right. Padma, can you change this sentence into negative, please? Later, we will be introducing negative sentences to the children. Okay. So, Padma,
I
I-
don't go to school. I don't go to school.
I don't go to school. Where did you get this don't from or do from? Tell me.
Okay. Actually, this is a here we use the do auxiliary verb.
What auxiliaries you have used here?
Because
Suchi said
when
only the verb go is sufficient and it expresses the action in its present. So where did you get that to do from? You
when
are
I
saying
changed
I
into
don't go to.
negative, yeah, when I changed into negative, I use the do.
Yeah, something must be
Of
there, no?
auxiliary
Only
verb.
then you can split it. Right? It must be there. It must have got combined. If it is not there, how can you split it from the original one? Where did you get this do from? I
So,
don't go
ma'am,
to
are you
school.
saying that do is implicit in every simple present?
Not in every simple present, because when I talk about a third person singular, I may say he does not like coffee. And in positive, I say he likes coffee.
Yes, ma'am. So, but for the negative, we are introducing do, right? The negative form. We say do not.
Yeah, my question is, only for negative, do you think you have to use this do and does?
So we
Not
can
possible.
write I do go to school.
I do go to school. Do we say that sometimes?
Yeah,
Yes,
ma'am.
to
Sometimes.
emphasize,
I do
ma'am.
like this. I
Yeah.
do like this. We
I
say
do like this.
That's
Yes,
an
ma'am.
emphatic statement. No, ma'am, to highlight
emphatic.
it.
Emphatic. Okay. But when we say it normally, the verb do is there.
So it's
Okay.
it's implicit.
Yes, it is used. Go is the combination of do plus go. When you say he likes coffee, likes is the combination of does and like. It is there already. That's why in negative you are able to split it into two. Does not like, do not go, that way. Okay, will is very explicitly shown. So you are able to say, okay, when I say he will love me, then you are able to say, or they will love me. Okay, will is the auxiliary. This is the main verb. When we say main verb, it talks about the action. Only the action. From this word alone, I can't understand the time of the action. For that, I need this auxiliary verb, will. Okay, the same way, when I say do plus go, go tells me about the action. What action is going to happen? Going. I use it go. Okay, I use it as go. And it has to be combined with do. But the result is only one. Right? Though I mix decoction and milk, I get coffee. You cannot see it separately. The same way. Okay, do and go. They get combined. You get go. And that is what we use when we make a sentence with present. Okay, so it is there. And what about the past? I went to school yesterday. How will you express it in past? I mean in negative, but in
Did-
past. I did not go. Okay, so that did is already there. Did plus go gives you went. That's why you are able to say, I did not go yesterday. I did not like that movie. Okay, I did not watch him there. Like this. So in simple present and simple past also, we have an auxiliary verb. Right? We use the different forms of do. In present, we use do and does. In past, we use did. But when we go to simple future, we use will. Okay? Maybe when you work with continuous tenses, no, it is easy for you to understand. I am not talking to you. So, am is the auxiliary, talking is the main verb. He is not helping me. So, is the auxiliary, helping is the main verb. Okay, it is already there separately. Right? He has not talked to me. Has is the auxiliary, talked. That is the main verb. He had done the work before he went there. Had is the auxiliary, done is used as the main verb here. So these three verbs, be, do, have, they can be used as auxiliaries. They can also be used as main verb. Main verb expresses only the action. Auxiliary verbs help us understand the time of the action, also the number of the persons doing that action. Okay? So now you go through some sentences in the book, find out what tense is used there. Is there an auxiliary verb, right? So in the next session, we will continue the presentations. The first presentation will be auxiliary verbs. Okay. So, but my what I would like to know is, have you now understood that without the auxiliary verb, we cannot make a sentence. Even in Tamil, we can't. Even in Hindi, we can't. Okay.
Ma'am, could you give an example in Tamil, ma'am?
I say like this. Avan dinamo varu. If I stop here, will you understand anything? Avan dinamum inge varu.
No.
Is it meaningful?
No.
No. How should I end it? Avan dinamum
Varuvan.
inge
Varugiran.
வருகிறான். சொல்றீங்களா? சோ அந்த வருகிறான், அந்த லாஸ்ட் பார்ட் தானே யார் ஆக்ஷனை செய்யறா, எப்போ செய்யறாங்கன்றத சொல்லுது. ரைட்? அந்த வா அப்படிங்கிறது ஒன்லி மெயின் வேர்ப். அந்த லாஸ்ட் வருகிறான், இல்ல வந்தான், வருவான் அப்படி முடிக்கிறீங்க இல்லையா, அதெல்லாம் தான் ஆக்சிலரி வேர்ப். சோ இங்கிலீஷ்ல அதத்தான் இந்த செப்பரேட் ஆக்சிலரி வேர்ப்ல எக்ஸ்பிரஸ் பண்றோம். Do is used for simple tenses, simple present and simple past. Do, does, did. Okay. For continuous, we use be forms. Is, was, are, were, am, was. These are used for continuous tenses. Present continuous and past continuous. Right. For present perfect and past perfect, we use have forms. Has come, had come, like this. And when you move on to perfect continuous, there you will have both have and be together. I have been working with you since this time. Okay, have is also there. Be form is also there. Then to indicate it is continuous, we use ing also. Okay, so without the auxiliary verb, you cannot express a sentence in English, even in Tamil.
But in Tamil, I thought the verb itself is undergoing a change. Adula
ஆமா அதுல செப்பரேட்டா ஆக்சிலரி verb நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணல.
பண்ணல.
ஆனா அந்த ரான் தான் அதெல்லாம் தான் நமக்கு சொல்லுது.
அது
இப்ப
அது
வந்து
வந்து அது வந்து ஜெண்டர்
ஜெண்டர் இண்டிகேஷன் ஆல்சோ டைம் இண்டிகேஷன். வந்தான் வந்தான் அப்படின்னா அது பாஸ்ட். வருகிறான்.
Ma'am, are they not just conjugations of tense, ma'am?
Conjugation
The
of
verb
the
itself.
verb.
Of the verb itself.
The same thing. Here also, no. In the last session, we used the word, no. The verb conjugation. Why do we have to study pronouns before offering these tenses to the children?
Yes. So for the conjugation, yes.
Yes. Okay. So, if the children ask you.
Like in Sanskrit also we say, patati, patatah, patanti. So, for singular, then dual form of the pronoun, and then plural form.
In Hindi, ma'am, you can say one.
In Hindi, it's the same as this one in Tamil. It's like मैं पढ़ता हूँ. मैं. तुम पढ़ते हो. वे पढ़ते हैं.
So
where's the auxiliary here, ma'am?
There are auxiliary.
In Tamil and Hindi, the auxiliary is not shown separately.
அங்க whom, hai, ho இதுதான் வந்து indicate பண்ணுது
singular plural. And present past also.
Gender.
Gender.
Tense and gender. And number also. Number also. தமிழ்ல அதான் நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி.
ஆமா. பட் தமிழ்ல வந்து ஆக்சிலரி வெர்ப்ங்கிறது தனியா இருக்காது.
இல்ல. இருக்கா?
ஆமா. அப்படி தனியா இல்ல.
இல்ல. ஹிந்திலயும் அந்த மாதிரி இல்ல.
வினைச்சல் but it undergoes conjugation. That is it. In English, we have it separately. Each language is unique, no? Just to help you understand, okay, it happens like this in this language. I'm telling you, or I'm comparing Tamil and English. But in English, without the help of the auxiliary verb,
we cannot
make a sentence.
And
but when you use be, the verb be is used as a main verb. There we don't use one more auxiliary verb. Like I am here. Only am is there. You cannot split it into.
You are being very.
அப்போ continuous tenseல வரும். But present and pastல பிரிக்க முடியாது. I was here yesterday too. So அந்த was வந்து ரெண்டா பிரிக்க முடியாது. But when you use other main verbs, no. So do is there in present. Be is there in continuous. Have is there in perfect. So 4 types we have now. Simple, continuous, perfect, and then perfect continuous. Okay. So do, be, have. Fourth perfect continuous வரும்போது அந்த ரெண்டும் சேர்ந்துரும். Beயும் haveம் சேர்ந்துரும்.
கமிதா be பண்றாங்க.
Fine. So it's already 6:10. We will discuss this again maybe in the next session.
But if let us all think, right? So this thinking process is more important than arriving at an answer immediately. யோசிச்சுட்டே இருந்தா இன்னும் நிறைய answers கிடைக்கும். Keep thinking now. Whenever you're speaking, think about which auxiliary verb you're using to express the verb.
இல்ல ஏன்னா suppose the children ask you, I don't go ஏன் ஆன்ட்டி சொல்றோம், but in simple present I don't have. But suppose I give a sentence, I am waiting. If I have to change it into negative, then the children will immediately say, I am not waiting. But when I say, I like coffee, when I change it into negative, where does this do come from? I do not like coffee. இந்த do எங்க வந்துச்சு?
அதான்.
Okay.
Okay. அவங்களுக்காக நான் சொல்லிட்டேன். ஓகே.
When we were all nodding our heads.
அதெல்லாம் கேட்காது.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, yeah, we'll meet tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Take care, all of you. Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
You
Thank you
too,
so much.
ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Ratna ma'am.
Garuda. Thank you,
Thank you,
Ratna ma'am.
ma'am.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So, Ratna, what time you are there tomorrow?
தெரியல மேம் சீக்கிரமா போகணும் 10 o'clockனு அதுல போட்டிருந்தாங்கல்ல மெசேஜ்ல
10 o'clock it will start அப்படின்னு போட்டிருக்காங்க. I'll be reaching by 10:40 only. My train reaches there at 10:40. Shatabdi. You know the place? You know the address?
I have already been there. அந்த மேரேஜ்க்கு போனோம்ல அந்த ஏரியா தான்.
Send me the address.
சரி மேம் நான் எனக்கு அந்த ஏரியா நேம் தான் தெரியும். நான் நர்மதா மேம் கிட்ட வேணா அட்ரஸ் வாங்கி அனுப்புறேன் மேம்.
சரி. Then I'll ask them itself. I thought you know.
Maybe இந்த இன்விடேஷன் எங்கேயாவது வச்சிருப்பேன். I will find out மேம்.
Still, I'll get the address from them.
சரி மேம். எனக்கும் அட்ரஸ் தெரியாது. ஏரியா நேம் தான் தெரியும். அவங்க கிட்ட தான் கேட்கணும்.
சரி, ஓகே.
வேற உங்களுக்கு என்ன எதுவும் எக்ஸ்ட்ரா தெரியுமா மேம்? என்ன ஆச்சு? சம் போட்டோஸ் வந்து ஐ சா இந்த குரூப் ஹோசூர் குரூப்ல பார்த்தேன். ஆமா அந்த லாஸ்ட் இதுல என்னெல்லாம் போட்டோஸ் அவர் எடுத்தாரோ அதெல்லாம் அனுப்பியிருந்தாங்க. ஒரு 7 போட்டோஸ் கிட்டக்க. நல்லா ஹெல்தியா தான் இருக்கிறாரு. அதுல எல்லாம் பார்த்தா அந்த போட்டோஸ்ல எல்லாம் பார்த்தா. பட் கூட அவங்க அண்ணாவை மட்டும்தான் எனக்கு ரெகக்னைஸ் பண்ண முடிஞ்சது. மதுன்னு அவர் பேரு. அவரை மட்டும்தான் ரெகக்னைஸ் பண்ண முடிஞ்சது.
தம்பியும் போயிருக்காரு சொன்னாங்க. ஆஸ்திரேலியால இருந்து தம்பி, அப்புறம் பையன்,
பொண்ணுலாம் இல்ல அதுல
சொன்னாங்க. 9 பேர் போனாங்க மொத்தம்.
ஒரு குரூப் போட்டோ
மாத்திரம் தான் போகலையா? வைஃபும் டாட்டர் இன் லா மாத்திரம் போகலையா? டைம் பண்ணி ஒரு 1 hourக்குள்ள ஆயிடுச்சு.
அதான் அப்படிதான் சொன்னாங்க.
இதுதான் ஆரம்பிச்சு கொஞ்ச நேரத்துக்குள்ளலாம். சாட்டர்டே போயிருக்காங்க. 2 days வெயிட் பண்ணிருக்காங்க. அதுக்கப்புறம் ஏன் பண்ணாருன்னு தெரியல.
ஏன் பண்ணாரு இந்த சென்ஸ்?
ஏன் போனாரு? ஏன் பண்ணாரு? இங்க இருந்து அவ்வளவு தூரம் ஏன் போனாரு? ஏன் இப்படி ஆச்சு?
ஒரு ரொம்ப ஹெல்தி பர்சன் தான். நிறைய எல்லாமே ஃபாலோ பண்றவங்க தான். அந்த யோகா
இந்த கோவிட்க்கு அப்புறம் யாருமே ஹெல்தி அப்படின்னா சொல்லிக்க முடியாது.
எஸ் 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 ட்ரூ. அது வேணா ட்ரூ.
ஆஃப்டர் கோவிட் we are not the same.
அன்னைக்கு மைத்ரியில எல்லாம் 4 மாடி ஏறியே வந்தார். ஒரு தடவை கூட அவர் லிஃப்ட் யூஸ் பண்ணவே இல்ல. அந்த 4 மாடி ஏறி வந்தாரு. ஆல் த யங் பீப்புள் ஃபாலோ மீ அப்படி சொல்லிட்டு ஏறினாரு. எனக்கு ஒரு மாடியே ஏற முடியல. அப்பதான் ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ல இருந்து வந்திருந்தனால மிஸ் பண்ணிட்டேன். ஒரு மாடி ஏறினதுக்குள்ளே எனக்கு வீசிங் மாதிரி வந்துருச்சு. He climbed all the 4
things are not the same, no Ratna, like before. நான்லாம் இப்படி ஆவேன்னு எனக்கு I can not imagine. So உள்ளுக்குள்ள எப்படி இருக்குன்னே சொல்ல முடியல.
ஆமா கரெக்ட்.
Lots of people are falling prey to it, no? Hi Shri.
ஆண்டி கூப்பிடுறாங்க. பாரு இப்படி அவரு கொஞ்சம் அடிக்கடி எதனா இஷ்யூஸ் வந்துட்டே இருக்கு. இருமல், சளி
எல்லா குழந்தைங்களுக்கும் Ratna கண்டினியூஸா பாக்குறேன். அப்புறத்துல இருந்து அட்டெண்டன்ஸ் சரியாவே இல்ல. அப்சென்டிசம் நிறைய இருக்கு. ஒரு நாள் வராங்க, 2 நாள் ஆப்சென்ட் ஆகுறாங்க. ஒரு வாரம்னா வர்றது இல்ல.
நிறைய குழந்தைங்க ஹாஸ்பிட்டலைஸ்ட் ஆயிடுறாங்க. ஹாஸ்பிட்டல்ல ஒரு 2-3 days இருந்து எல்லாருக்கும் ஐவி போட்டு அப்புறம் தான் வராங்க ஸ்கூலுக்கு.
ஆமா ஆமா இப்ப இதான் இருக்கு. ஏதோ இஷ்யூஸ் வருது.
சின்ன சின்னதெல்லாம்
கஷ்டமா தான் இருக்கு. அடல்ட்ஸும் they are falling sick.
ஆமா ஆமா ஆமா
அடிக்கடி ஃப்ரீக்வென்ட்டா
இன்னைக்கு வந்து பெரிய இஷ்யூ ஆயிடுச்சு.
ஆமா ஆமா
அவரு கொஞ்சம் பார்த்து இருந்திருக்கலாம். ஏன்னா நிறைய பேருக்கு இன்னும் பெனிஃபிட் கிடைச்சிருக்கும்ல.
ஆமா ஐயோ எவ்வளவு பிளான்ஸ், எவ்வளவு வேலை இருக்கு. போயிட்டு வந்து பேசுறேன் அப்படின்னு சொன்னது எல்லாம் அப்படியே அப்ரப்டா ஒரு பாஸ் வச்சுட்டாரு. அப்படியே அவரே யோசிச்சிருந்திருக்க மாட்டாரு.
அவருக்கு அவரோட ஹெல்த் கண்டிஷன் யூஸ்வலா தெரிஞ்சிருக்கணும்.
அதுதான்
ஏன்னா அவர் அந்த அளவுக்கு அவர் அந்த இதுல இருக்கிறவர், அந்த யோகா இது அதுல இருக்கிறவர். இப்பயும் நிறைய நாள் வெறும் வாட்டர் மட்டுமே குடிச்சிட்டு இருப்பாரு.
இல்ல, this takes a different kind of energy. I know of a 70-plus-year-old woman who over here, she was the chairman of IMC Tamil Nadu chapter, Samyukta Gill. One of the courses we had brought her to talk to the trainees about her experience of trekking to the base camp. Base camp வரைக்கும் போயிருக்காங்க with one another companion. So we wanted her to share her experiences. I mean, she said for 1 year she practiced on road, without slippers. She used to walk, almost 10 kilometers and above. They had to daily, they'll have to walk with minimum amount of water, minimum supply of food, because அங்க food எல்லாம் கிடைக்கவே கிடையாது. ஆச்சு போச்சுன்னா மேகி இல்ல நான் வெஜிடேரியன்ல அந்த அதெல்லாம் கிடைக்கும் போல இருக்கு. நிறைய ஃபேட்டி ஃபுட் தான் சாப்பிடுவாங்க அங்க. Cooking in the fat itself, no, அந்த மாதிரி எல்லாம். We are not used to that, and he is very picky about his food. Food வந்து வெறும் vegetables and fruits without spices. இங்க வந்திருக்கும் போதும் அப்படிதான். நீங்க இன்னைக்கு இல்லையா?
ஒரு நாள் வந்தாரு
அதனால he said only vegetables and fruits.
எப்பவுமே அப்படிதான், எப்பவுமே அப்படிதான்.
That is not enough for there. அங்கத்துக்கே அது கண்டிப்பா
இருக்காது.
எப்படி அத யோசிச்சாருன்னு தெரியல, போயிடலாம் அப்படின்ட்டு.
அது ரொம்ப பெரிய லாஸ் எல்லாருக்குமே.
ரத்னா ரொம்ப அப்ரப்டா எதையுமே எல்லாம் அன்பினிஷ்டா அப்படியே ஒரு ஃபுல் ஸ்டாப் வச்ச மாதிரி. ஸோ இப்படி வேகண்டா மாதிரி நல்லாவே இல்லை.
நான் எம்டிசி செய்யணுங்கிறக்கே அவரே ஒரு இன்ஸ்பிரேஷன் தான். எல்லாமே என்ன எல்லாரும் நிறைய பேருக்கு அவரு ஒரு பெரிய இன்ஸ்பிரேஷன். எல்லாமே இதாகுது. என்ன அடுத்துன்றதே தெரியல.
Life will go on, no? Still.
It will. பாவம் அவங்க வைஃப்லாம்.
ஆமா, must be such a jolt. பாப்போம் ரத்னா.
tomorrow. Okay, ma'am.